All right, this is the tip video for the second worksheet, Bikini Bottom Genetics. It's still single trait genetics. I first need to ask that you actually print these off. You can print them off, you can download them on Adobe. I prefer to actually have them on paper because it's kind of hard to do genetics on a computer screen. I find it easier to actually write things down. You have to do the sheet. It's practice before you actually go online and take the little genetics quiz that goes along with the sheet. If you go directly to the quiz and try to answer them as you're going on, chances are you're going to make mistakes, especially when you start getting into the more difficult concepts. So please make sure you practice before you actually take the quiz. That's the reason why I have these on here. So let me start off with giving you tips for this particular worksheet. SpongeBob, there are several worksheets with SpongeBob themes. So once you start learning the dominant and recessive traits within SpongeBob, it's pretty obvious. So the first question is they are giving you the genotype. And what they want you to do is to identify whether it is heterozygous or homozygous. And you are simply going to write either HE or HO in each one of the blanks. For example, big T, those are the same. That means homozygous, and you would write HO. If it were big B, little b, those are different. That means it would be HE. So go ahead and fill all of these out here. This one here, which of the genotypes would be considered purebred, which would be considered hybrids? You don't have to write all of them out. Just either write homozygous or heterozygous or whichever one goes in that blank. Number two, they're giving you the genotype. You actually have to write out the phenotype. It says yellow body color is dominant to blue. So if you are big Y, that means you are yellow. And same thing here, square pants is dominant to round pants. So fill those out as well. Number three, they give you the phenotype. You have to write down the genotype. So if you are tall, big T, homozygous dominant, or you could be big T, little t, heterozygous. So if there's two possibilities, write down two. If there's only one, then you can only write one. That's just kind of reinforcement if you know the difference between homozygous, heterozygous, dominant, recessive, so on and so forth. Now with the rest of the problems, 4 through 8, they're just like the last sheet. You have to read the question, you have to interpret things, and always start off step number 1. Step number 1 is to make a key. I'll do question number 5. It says Patrick and Patty met at a dance. Both of them are heterozygous for their pink body color. Well, right there, heterozygous and they're pink. So that means they have one dominant gene, one recessive gene. So that tells me immediately that pink has to be the dominant color. So pink is dominant. It actually even says it after. I should have just kept reading. Heterozygous for their pink body, which is dominant over yellow. So yellow is little p. Create a Punnett square showing the possibility of what would happen if Patrick and Patty had children. So it says both of them are heterozygous. So that means big P, little p, crossed with big P, little p. I take one parent's gametes and put them up here, big P and little p. And same thing on the next side, big P, little p. Now fill in, great big P, down below, big P, little p, big P, little p, and little p, little p. When you're dealing with similar looking letters, make one of them really big and one of them really small so you don't confuse yourself. Now we go to ABC. List all the possible genotypes and phenotypes for their children. Well, the genotypes, looks like there's 3 different ones. You have big P. Then you have big P, little p. And then you have little p, little p. That means you are pink. That means you are pink. And little p means you are yellow. So those are the possible combinations for their offspring. Letter B, what are the chances of a child having a pink body? So pink body, and it says blank out of blank or percentage. So how many out of 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, so how many have pink bodies? That one's pink, that one's pink, that one's pink. So 3 out of 4, or that's 75%. What are the chances of having a yellow body? That's little p, little p. So it's 1 out of 4, which is 25%. And that looks like it's it for that problem. See on the back, let me see, is there anything that could be tricky? I think all of these are pretty straightforward. Remember, do the work before you go to the, because I basically took these same questions and put them on Schoology so that you can input your answers and it'll grade it automatically so you can see how you did. Good luck and please practice. Thank you.